Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's go.
My name is LaVonda Trim. We are here at Let's Get It Productions.
Will you edit that out?
It is a business center that is open to the community, health and wellness. It is run by Charles and Tracy Wiley, Power Couple 101. And this is their business manager, Angie, and I am a business partner. So today we're going to interview Mr. Charles Wiley on his business center and what it means to the community to have a Black leader right in the center of town, and the advantages that he has for anybody and especially the youth. Let's get it. All right.
Angela Love.
Okay, Charles Wiley, tell me a little bit about yourself.
All right, Cincinnati, and across the country, what's going on? My name is Charles Wiley. Back in the early 90s, I started an organization. I first started with an organization called Black Power Brothers and Sisters. And the purpose of starting that organization, I always wanted to do something powerful to help enhance our community from the dealing with the violence, the drugs, and everything that's going on. That's seemed like it's diminishing our community. But first, about me, I grew up young as a teen, grew up in one of the largest all-Black communities in the nation, Lincoln Heights. Grew up in the projects, grew up in poverty. I grew up around the drugs, the violence, and all the problems going on in the community. Grew up around all the problems that our young people are dealing with, even to this day. But of course, things have scaled up even more as far as the problems. And so, with that, you have me, Charles. I'm in this small circle, doing what I can to help 1, 2, 3, 4 kids, maybe 10, or whoever come in my circle, to help impact their life.
Okay, Mr. Charles Wiley, I know you have a program for chess, and you teach the children chess, and you relate it to life skills. I don't know anything about chess, so empower me with some knowledge, first of all, about chess and how you translate that to the children, because I would need to learn this on a child's level.
Not a child's level. This is an adult level also, but our child's learning things on an adult level. So this is one of my chess teams right here. This is an outing. We do enrichment outings also. We was at a facility over in Norwood called fouling. And what they do is throw the football and knock it down big bowling things. It's fun. You guys need to check that out. So every time we do an enrichment outing, we do have to play chess before they even have start time. But the purpose of chess, especially in Cincinnati, you probably seen on the news where our kids was downtown in a group, and right now they're dealing with the issues where kids are going downtown, disrupting the community, jumping people, and just doing things downtown. So the purpose of chess, I learned how to play chess in the 7th grade, and what chess does to your mind is that when you're playing chess, you learn how to move one, or think 1, 2, 3, even 4 or 5 moves ahead. So what I do with our youth, I train them chess, and from training them chess, I train them critical thinking skills. But before I train them chess, what I do is I have a book, my autobiography. We Were Born to Win is actually one book, 2 different book covers. This for schools. I was just speaking at Lockland School last week, actually early part of this week. So this is my life. And in my life story, I've dealt with depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts. I've dealt with bullying. I've dealt with the violence in the community. I've dealt with, you name it, I've dealt with them issues. Drugs been around. Share something with you. When I was 16 years old, I went over to one of my friend's house and he wasn't home, but I actually walked in the house and didn't knock. Back then you could do that, but when I went in, 16 years old, adults was in there shooting up. They was actually shooting up and just shocked me. And one of the adults, instead of saying, get out, he said, Charles, you want to try this? And I immediately ran out the house. You know, I'm 16 years old. So if I would have even engaged in that, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I probably would be dead. I know I would be struck out. I would be out there. And these issues that our kids deal with that they don't tell their parents. I was 16. I never told my parent about that to the day she left here. I never told her because I know what she would do. She would have went over there. So in saying this, these are just the tip of the iceberg as to why I do what I do to help our youth. So the chess, I first give them my story, because once I give youth my story and they understand that they are me and I'm them, that's what unite us and help them understand that I'm no different than them and I went through the same issues as they did. And then I have another piece that I give them that I'm not gonna give you guys here because I can't give you all my jewels as to what I do, but I will train you. Call me 513-470-2139. So I train life skills. With once they learn the chess, we train life skills. We do self-improvement. I do the connection between chess and being in the community. Like what I was saying is that if you imagine the kids downtown and when they was jumping people, now they know chess and they know the training that I took them through. So a light bulb clicks in their head and they say, if I engage in jumping someone and they think even harder, the police might get called. Someone might even get killed. Someone, will call my parents, so that's what chess does, is it opens their mind to even think more. Because one thing about chess, what it does, it helps with, it's proven fact, it helps with Alzheimer's, it helps with, it helps with the critical thinking skills. It helps with even being patient, because in order to play chess, you look at these youth, man, they are like steadfast and they paying attention. When these kids first came into my program, they was just all over the place. There's no way that they would even be able to do this to get started. I had to train their brain to even be able to consume that little piece. So I hope that helped you a little bit. And also another thing we train, de-escalation. We'll talk about that later because remember I talked about anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. I have a 10-point program in one of my other tools. I believe in having tools to give to the youth also. That's what they gravitate to also. So I have a 10-point program proven to help de-escalate stress. Back to you.
Wow. So that was great. So let's back up a little bit. What actually made you want to write a book about your life? What actually got you just wanting to just write a story about you?
Hey y'all, this is your boy C-Dub.
We're about to take a break, and with that, we'll be right back.
So, Charles, let's back it up a little bit and just tell us a little bit about why what made you want to write an autobiography about yourself, and why do you have 2 different book covers? I know that's a little broad question, but if you could tell us why you wanted to write a book about yourself.
Well, I'm gonna try to keep it short, but I'm very God-fearing in everything I've done in life. When I do anything, I've always prayed before I even jumped out there and do it, because when you do that, it's like you have that power, that anointing of God directing you 8 steps, and one of my other prayers is, you know, like, Lord, keep me humble. Lord, keep me in a position where I will continue to get knowledge. I'll continue to scale my life up. I'll continue to be able to take my life to another level and continue to be able to take others up to another level. And this is crazy. This is really a serious prayer right here. And I say, God, I'm here. You know, I know you have anointed me. Give me the tools that you want me to have to scale up. And he gave it to me. So with this book, The Quest to Use this illustration, I went through a phase in my life where I was working for corporate America. And I slipped in. I'm not going to go into details all about that, but that's, you know, holler at me, I'll stand on your stage and light it up for you. I was working for corporate America, and I was faced with systemic racism. And when I was faced with systemic racism, this was back in the early 90s, I slipped into depression. I did not know I was depressed. I just knew I was mad at this company for treating me bad, treating me wrong. I became angry, upset, and then I didn't get help because I didn't know I needed help. Then from there, I slipped into deep depression where it got worse. Then I slipped into anxiety. We never talked about anxiety back then, where I would pull up at my job. Right before I went in, tears would start coming out of my eyes. My heart would start beating fast, and I wouldn't be able to breathe. I was like, what's wrong with me? I didn't know what was wrong. I thought it was something really seriously going on with my insides medically. So I couldn't breathe, and I'm sitting here crying, and I'm sitting here. I remember one guy knocked on my door, and I was like, I had to turn my face and say, wait a minute, I'll get with you because I didn't want him to see me. So from there, I still didn't get help. Then I slipped into a phase where I was like, I don't want to be here no more. I want to give up. And from that, I was experiencing suicidal thoughts, which a lot of people across this country are dealing with right now. And you know, I went through a lot of different issues working for this company, and like I said, moving forward, you know, I became bitter, I became angry, especially towards you know, our white community. I never used any like negative words towards anyone or anything towards them. But I didn't want to be around anyone that was not my color. So I wanted to get better because I knew that wasn't me. I wasn't raised like that. So, you know, God showed me. I met this individual, and everything I said, I feel like it's like a blessing because he brings your needs to you. And I wanted a black doctor, so someone introduced me to Dr. Thomas, psychiatrist. I wasn't ashamed about going to see him. I didn't have to deal with that because a lot of people were like, I ain't wanted no straight, I ain't wanted. The serious issue was, back then, I had an organization of Black Power brothers and sisters in my youth organization. So I never told them that I was dealing with depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts because I'm the CEO and founder of this organization. So if I would have told them, I knew they would be like, man, this guy crazy. Like, who's gonna follow that person? I kept it to myself. Actually, my wife right here, she didn't even know she didn't know I was like dealing with depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts. I never told her. I kept it to myself. So that's the first problem, is that when you keep things to yourself, it gets worse. It turns into poison. That's why I got bad. So I went to Dr. Thomas. Man, I'm trying to move fast. So while I was with him, it helped. It helped a little. You know what I mean? It helped. You know, it helped with a lot of things. He said, Charles, you know, he focused in on Job a lot with me, and different scriptures in the Bible and all that. So it helped, but it didn't get me where I needed to be. So from there, God showed me other signs, and you know, like different steps to get myself back together. And I'm not going to go into no details, but it's a proven fact because my wife was therapeutic foster parents for 20 years. Therapeutic means you dealing with kids, you kind of dealing with the worst kids out here, kids that nobody wanted, kids that's been going through trauma, kids that have tried to kill themselves, kids that's cutters, kids that you know, like runaways, all that, kids that would tear your house up, and all me and my wife was foster parents. We never had a kid destroy our home. We had kids that weren't runners, and kids was doing all kinds of things, but wanted to take their life. But he gave us the tools to help elevate kids. So we was able to take kids that was wanting to give up straight F's to straight A's and B's in schools. We was able to take kids that was out there selling themselves before they came down, smoking weed, doing whatever in the streets. I'm talking 12, 8, even 8. We was able to take these youth to a whole nother level where some graduated from college. You know, we got a couple got their master's degrees and just excel their life. And that's part of the tool that God enlightened me with and blessed me with. So I have a 10-point program that helps people overcome. And it's what helped me overcome. The first thing is, number one, you have to talk to someone, your best friend, talk to the doctor. You gotta talk to someone, because if you don't talk to anyone, you're gonna stay miserable, you're gonna stay bitter. Number two is, I had to face my fears. Part of my fears, my problem was dealing with the white community and dealing with that job where I would break down in tears. And I tell people, you know, you face it in a safe manner. My safe manner of doing it, I would go over there and I would just work with myself as to not crying anymore, no more anxiety, because now I knew what was going on. So I got over that. And then from there, I have different steps. And that'll lead probably Tracy into another conversation, but it look like Lavonda got something to say.
My question to you, Charles, is what is the end goal? I mean, what you're doing and what you want to do with the community and with the city, what is the end goal? What would you like to see happen?
Well, actually, it's already happened. It's already happening, because I do have, and then one of the prayers also is that I ask God, whatever I touch, I want it to scale up and be the best. I don't want to be that guy out here that does a lot of things, and they say, you know, you're doing a lot but mastering none. I do a lot without mastering, and I can safely say, positively say, I'm mastering everything I touch. So the end goal is, I do have a successful remodeling company where I'm a contractor with powerful companies out here in the community. Well, my guys is working right now, 2 of them, while I'm sitting here talking. I have, you know, just all these things around the business center. This is an end goal, being able to bless other lives by having this facility, and my wife gave it back to the community, so the community is using this business center to bless their lives. That's an end goal. Another end goal is being able to empower our youth with the tools I have. So I have tools, I'm gonna go over some more, but now I'm in a position where I just did a workshop at Cincinnati State, they want New York, I don't know, we're gonna come back and I'll remember what I'm talking about. Hey, back to you guys. She asked me about my end goal. End goal is huge, because one of the main things about my end goal is basically just to be able to bring resources to individuals that's in need. And that's what we do here at Let's Get Productions. It doesn't matter if it's your health, if it's you want to start a business, if it's you, you know, just want to scale your life up and connect with Let's Get It Productions to help take it to that next level. Because as I was saying, is that, you know, I take pride in what I do, and I believe in mastering whatever I touch. And God actually let me know through about 4 different evangelists that, Charles, anything you touch, they told me that, Charles, anything you touch is gonna turn to gold, and you're gonna scale up. And people gonna bring you a lot of things, but don't accept everything. Pray about it. So in saying that, the things that I do accept, I know it's of Him. And as I said, my book, it's an A+ rating. You know, A+, read, and I won 5 awards on it. My remodeling company looked me up, IP Home Technician Remodeling. I'm an A+ Plus rating on the Better Business Bureau. My youth program here, I think Tracy gonna go a couple of letters quickly before this is over with, and it'll show you how powerful my youth program is. We have a senior citizen program where we do things for seniors. I have an ex-offenders program. I have a couple ex-offenders that's working for me also, that's doing great. So with that, that's it.
Okay, Charles, I have a question for you. So you mentioned that you know that you're anointed by the Lord, right? And from what I know, of a person being anointed, if they're not anointed for themselves, they're anointed for everybody else. So that goes for Tracy and Charles. They are anointed, but their anointed is made for their sphere of influence. So that's going to lead me to the question of how you empower other people when people bring you things. See, because God uses people to bless people, period. So God needs us to forward His kingdom. Just let that sit in for a second. So that's what Charles and Tracy does through their anointment. So they are anointed. And he mentioned that I'm sure he gets offers all the time, because he's that person that knows everybody. Because you got a power couple here, and if somebody brings you an idea and it's for you to share that, you're going to take it to the power couple. So
You brought me an idea. You brought something to me. I didn't bring about it, but I already knew it was powerful because I was with another company. So,
Right.
what
So
did you bring me?
So that is what I'm leading up to. That is what I'm leading up to. So I met Charles through a previous company that did very well for a long, long time until they got sold to corporate America. And you know what happens after that. And he was, of course, a top earner. He brought his checks, and I saw a lot of parallel similarities between how he does business and how I do business. Now, see, Charles has been a part of my family for a long time, right?
I didn't know it.
And he didn't know it. Like, I would see him like at funerals here, funerals there. I knew him in high school, but like he's brothers with my cousins. So it's like we were related and he didn't even know it. And I think it's because I'm so short and he just overlooked me because he's so tall. But that's okay, that's okay. So I came across an opportunity, and I'm gonna just tell you the name of the company. It's Think Energy.
That might be that right there. Think Energy Plus. That
Think
banner
Energy
back
Plus.
there. I've been with them for a year.
Yeah,
I've been with them for over a year and a half.
for over a year.
Not for about a year. Over a year.
Yeah. So it's a new company with old roots. So if you're Googling it now, there's two. There's one before us, like 10 years old, and we're only 2 years old. And they could have changed the name, but they couldn't think of a better name. We wouldn't even have to go through that. So anyway, I said, this thing is huge.
I'm about to take over the show in a second because we got like a few minutes before the show is over.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this thing is huge. It's backed by solar. $100 million backing this company has. And so I brought it to Charles and Tracy, and he's like, lasagna, I ain't got time for nothing else. And I was like, Charles, you gotta see this. You gotta see this. So this is a way to empower your community, and I knew that would get him, because that's what they do. And we'll give you more information on that. But when he looked at it, I introduce him to the vice president and the top leaders of the company, and I just say, just come to the meeting and do you, be y'all, let them talk to you. And they were like, they were in. So we can do a whole nother, and I'm sure we will do a whole nother program just on Think Energy and how it's empowering people, companies, individuals, and leverage.
Alright, with that, I'll put this up real quick, you guys. I want to take you with this. Think Energy. We was in Atlantic City about a week ago. This is our team. Our team is huge all over the country. And I want to just leave you guys with this. When you out, pay attention to the solar energy. You know, even coming down Cincinnati Zoo, they have a solar farm over the parking lot. So, you about to start seeing solar farms. I think we're in like 12 states where New York, Chicago, when you drive up, you'll see the solar on the side of the house. It's coming to Ohio. It's coming, it's gonna be all over the country. So, but long story short, if you want the opportunity to change your life financially, connect with us, because we're part of Think Energy, and we actually hosting a meeting here. Two of our national leaders will be here, Kim and Jim, that's that middle picture to the right, the lady with the glasses, the guy in the middle, and that's Mike Baumquist, the owner of the company. So with that, man, you guys, man, don't miss this opportunity. Remember, I tell you, I pray about everything, and I do not introduce anything to the community that's not 100% right. So with that, I think Tracy had a question for you.
Yes, thank you. So my question is, how do you get into the schools? And as far as, what do people have to do to get you into their forums or schools?
You need something over here, you looking for something? Right,
Yes,
tell me
I'm
what you looking
looking for, you give workshops and you speak all over. How would a person, how would they get to you? Or how do you get to them, and what do they have to do? How did you get into, this is a super long question. How did you get into the school system? And
I got you.
yes.
I got you. So, you guys don't pay me no attention because you know I'm used to doing podcasts and sometimes I get excited. So, this is my media package. This got my one sheet on it, and it has Dr. Roger Cleveland gave me insight of me speaking. We were somewhere in Kentucky speaking together. I did a workshop for him also, and then it has a credentials of like where he did the audio for my book. But basically, word of mouth. And I've sent schools different information. I'll give you my website. My website is wewereborntowin.net. Go to my website, you have all my information. wewereborntowin.net. And also, we're gonna take the commercials and we're gonna be right back. Any other questions?
Yes, I just,
Open it up.
oh yes, I'm gonna read on the top.
And this one, this is 19, this supposed to be 1992. Oh, go ahead, no, this one. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Trace.
Yes, so I just have I have your booklet
Show is about to go
that,
off, so you might want to.
that's a critical thinking workshop book. It shows has a lot of different things that Charles has been doing for decades. Charles actually has a proven system that works, and he has been giving it back for decades. And these are the different decades. But I do want to read a letter.
These are my kids. These are my kids. These are my kids that I work with. This was Black Positive Brothers Youth. These are my critical thinking youth. And these kids here were gang members from Chicago and Detroit.
I'm just gonna read a couple letters.
You can read where that came from. If you
Yes,
don't mind.
there are recommendations of, for Charles. This one is from Job Corps. And the letter says, I am writing to highly recommend Mr. Charles Wiley, a motivational speaker and author, to anyone who is seeking a talented and engaging speaker. I had the pleasure of inviting Mr. Wiley to speak at our center, Cincinnati Job Corps, where he delivered a powerful message to the youth about important topics such as suicide, bullying, and cyberbullying. Mr. Wiley's ability to connect with and inspire the students was truly remarkable, and his insights on navigating through societal issues were invaluable. Our students were also impressed with his book, To God Be the Glory, and his establishment of the Black Positive Brothers and Sisters organization. Growing up in the inner city of Lincoln Heights himself, Mr. Wiley is a shining example of how one can overcome challenges and achieve success. I wholeheartedly endorse Mr. Wiley as a speaker and role model for anyone looking to make a positive impact on young people's lives. Sincerely, Wycat Brown, Cincinnati Job Corps.
Let me get Nate Soners here, Adam.
All right.
That's
Let me
one.
get Nate
You want me to
Lennox.
read Nate's
Yeah.
instead of? Okay. So, let's see. This next recommendation is from the Youth Advocate Programs Incorporated. And this was from October, well, just recently, this recommendation came in. And it says, Dear Charles, I want to thank you for leading, mentoring, and teaching our youth at the Youth Advocate Programs. I thought you did an excellent job of getting our youth's attention by providing them with useful information, training, and guidance to understand the concepts of critical thinking, life skills, and how to become an entrepreneur. I appreciated your experience in all your subject matters, your originality, and the fact that your trainings, presentations were not canned or generic in any way, but had a unique character to it and actually gave the youth some good information that they can use and apply in their lives. The materials and information you provided were practical and useful. I liked the way you got their attention right at the beginning and managed to keep their attention throughout the sessions. I believe they all enjoyed learning how to play chess and how chess strategies relate to critical thinking, everyday life, and how the introduction was very important and clever. It's not always easy to get a group of young men involved in the evening trainings and workshops, especially at the end of a school day and other extracurricular activities, but you managed to do a great job of it. Again, thank you, and I'm pleased to recommend your program to anyone who asks about it. Sincerely, Nathaniel Lett Jr., Program Director of the Youth Advocate Programs.
All right.
Let's get it.